Well, hello there, everyone. We welcome you back to A Day in the Life. Gotta say, we've had a lot of thunderstorm videos that we popped up on the playlist, and so far, yes, a lot of storms we have had over the past couple of months. And gotta say, yeah, it's been one heck of a stormy year. But anyway, yeah, it's been one of those times that we would get into the stormy season, and well, so far it is what it is. Well, anyway, I gotta say, we welcome you back after a long time. It has been such a long time since I've actually done a video like this. I mean, especially with all the rain we've been getting and this and that. It's just one of them things. But yeah, it is hot and humid this evening, and so far I could actually feel like the sweat going down my back. And so far, I gotta say, it's just hot. You can even see the sweat on my face. It's that humid tonight. But anyway, wanted to go horseback riding this weekend, but apparently it has been stormy a lot. And plus, well, not only has it been stormy, we've also had another setback with also our bills. And especially one guy that lives in that room right there. Not that room, because that's the room that I live in. That room that's right next to the bathroom, which is located right there. Well, anyway, the electric bill for CPS Energy was over $130 overdue. And so far, I said to myself, we have got to get this paid down, or else they're going to shut that thing off. And I gotta say, I paid the whole thing, and literally now our electric bill is finally paid for after a long time. But anyway, it's been one of those things. Well, that one roommate that literally got us the eviction notice just keeps missing his bills left and right. And so far, it's this guy that lives in this room right here, which apparently he's probably already asleep. It's near 11 o'clock tonight. But anyway, one day I got home after work and I saw a big stack of papers on our front door. And anyway, right after that, I went down to SWF. I had to figure what was going on. And so anyway, I went down and they said that somebody had missed a rent payment. I'm like, well, it wasn't me and it wasn't the other guy, so it had to assume it was him. So anyway, I went into his bedroom. I showed him the eviction notice, and so far I said, did you miss a rent payment, because we got this eviction notice on our door? And he's like, I don't know. I'm like, what do you mean you don't know? Check your rent receipts and see what month you missed. So anyway, he's going through, and one of the SWF leaders had called, and they said that he missed for February. And I'm like, you missed for February? And he's like, well, I thought I paid it. I'm like, well, thinking doesn't clarify if you paid it or not. You did or you didn't. And so anyway, he had to go down, and they said that he was the only one that didn't pay that rent. And so he missed that 1 month, and plus he had late fees on him. And I specifically told him, I said, look, man, you can't be missing like that. If you miss 1 month or 2 months or even 3 months of rent, they could come and put that piece of paper on your door saying you got 30 days to vacate because you didn't make no payments whatsoever. A landlord can do that. You know, if you miss a rent payment, this or that, you know, they can do that. And so anyway, I had to spend 3 or 4 days trying to figure out who didn't pay rent and all this other stuff. And I found out who the culprit was on that ordeal. I found out it was that one guy that doesn't pay his bills correctly. And so anyway, well, he went down and he paid everything, and then they contacted me to the SWF building, and they said, well, you owe $549. I'm like, I don't either. $549 for what? Oh, well, you missed a rent payment. Oh, bull. No, I didn't. I was going to say, you know, bull S word, and, you know, I don't want to say that because I don't want to cuss on my videos, because that's not being nice if I do that. But anyway, I told one of the SWF leaders, I said, I'm going to contest this payment because this doesn't make any sense. I mean, I didn't miss not one rent payment, and if you want to verify that through my rent receipts, y'all can do that. And I told him, I said, would you like to see my rent receipts? Because I've been paying ever since I got here back in 2022. You know, I've been making my payments every month. I've been making sure I'm paying the right amount, and so on. And so anyway, it's been a crazy ordeal. They said, yeah, we would love to see your rent receipts and this and that. But anyway, you know, I told them, I said, look, I'm not paying that $549 because I did not make that mistake. That one guy made that mistake. You need to charge him over that because he missed that 1 month of rent and plus the late fees that he got on top of that. And then they had to go over to the SWF, went over and paid the $549, and then they were trying to get that $549 out of me. And I said, oh, no, you're not. I'm not paying that. I didn't make that mistake. It was that one other guy that made that mistake. And so anyway, finally, we got all that taken care of. And, well, after that, I jumped on his case about it. I said, look, man, I'm going to tell you something. When you're in an apartment, you need to pay your rent. You need to pay your bills. You need to take care of your responsibilities. And this goofing around nonsense, that needs to stop too. Because I see you fool around all the time. I know what's going on. Because I have literally been there. You know, you're sitting around, you're fooling around, and, you know, I hear you in your room all day long and making funny noises. You know, that crap needs to be cut out immediately. I mean, I'm saying it. And the electric bill, the Wi-Fi, he needs to pay his portions on that. And that $130 that I had to pay that despite the fact that we are a few more weeks left of July, and August, the electric bill goes in by the 1st. And if nobody touches that, then the current month that we're in now, that gets slapped into next month. And I told him, I said, look, man, you need to cut this nonsense out. This not paying your bills nonsense, that's going to stop one way or another. You better be paying your bills all the time. You know, and you don't have anybody else to pay your bills. Because that's not fair to them that they have to go out of their way to pay your bills, to pay your portions and stuff. Like the electric bill, the Wi-Fi, this and that. You know. But $130, that's a lot for a electric bill. And, you know, I tell you, if this crap continues into 2027, I think we're not going to have any other choice but to not renew the contract for the apartment that we live in. But we are thinking about moving next year. You know, getting a 2-bedroom apartment with me and that one guy only. No, that one other guy, you know, I'm going to say this. He better freaking get his head screwed on straight and get his motives corrected. You know, because I can tell you right now, that's not right. You know, but I tell you, you know, he's got till next year to figure out what he needs to do. And if he's continuing to do what he's doing, then we're just going to have to say, hey, you know, that 3-bedroom apartment, you know, we can't afford it if we can't find a third to take that room. And, you know, a 3-bedroom apartment, you look at it, that's $1,350 a month to have a 3-bedroom apartment. And everybody has to divide that. Me and these 2 boys have to. And, you know, anyway, I tell you, it's just one of them things. But you know what? I tell you one thing, someday we are not going to be dealing with this. Because one day things are going to change, and hopefully for the better. But, you know, this one guy, he's got till next year to figure out what he's going to do. Because if by next year, if he's still doing the stupid stuff that he's doing, you know, it's going to be time for him to move out, because we can't put up with this no more. I mean, the bills, the lacking on that, you know, that needs to stop in a hurry. You know, I'm saying it. You know, it's complete and utter nonsense what's going on with this one guy that stays in that room. You know, making loud noises, this and that, you know. You get the whole idea. I've said it once, I won't say it again. But, you know, you get the whole idea of what's going on. But anyway, yeah, it's hot and humid. I probably need to go shower and get myself ready for bed. But most definitely, it's been a hot one today, and you know, I just thought I'd come out here and give a little update video of what's been going on and why y'all haven't seen me in a while. Ooh. There we go. Make sure we lock up. But yeah, make sure to lock that deadbolt, the bottom lock. Actually does smell pretty good in here. But yeah, anyway. Man, do you like the brightness of that light right there? Because I sure do. Well, I changed out the light bulb, which that was pretty good. But anyway, I tell you. Well, anyway, I'm going to see you guys back later. I'll talk to him.